Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I'm alone, and I'll be discussing the fourth season of X-Men: The Animated Series. So we're almost done. We're almost done with with X-Men: The Animated Series. Only one more season to go after this, and this one was the longest. The first two seasons were 13 episodes. Season 3 was 19. This one was 21 episodes. And I probably have the least to say about it. Honestly speaking, I have the least to say about this specific season of this series. I'll get into why that is. However, it'll become very apparent why, because I don't know. It's not that I'm tired of watching this. I'm very much enjoying it. However, and this one is one of the better seasons overall. However, I don't know. I just I just kind of felt that I'm popping it down. The rating. Um, I just felt that this one it's I think this one is the weakest. I know I've seen a lot of discourse around this show. I've been keeping up. I've been looking around, seeing the discourse around this show specifically, and all of that, just to see what people think about the show. And I genuinely don't get it. A lot of people like the episodes from this specific season, and I can agree. I found a lot of the episodes very enjoyable. However, however, um, it it's weird. It is very weird because I don't know. I guess a lot of the season here, a lot of this season has a lot of like I guess what we consider filler. I think the whole season is pretty much just kind of filler, in a way, in a way. Not to discredit the season a whole lot, but I've just not enjoyed it as much as people have enjoyed it. And maybe that's because I'm just not. I didn't I didn't grow up with the season or anything, and maybe it's just because I'm kind of looking at this as an adult with like if we've all been reviewed being kind of I guess sort of made for all ages or adults, at least like and all that. So I'm watching a show that's made for kids. But I would say that this season in particular is the weakest overall for me, at least. I don't know how season 5 is gonna turn out. I have not heard good things about season 5, but I do gotta say that I do have to say that this one is currently the one that I didn't like the most. It's not that it isn't good. It is good. However, it just kind of meandered around a little too much for my liking. But let's get into it. I don't know how long this episode. I've said this a lot to the podcast, but I really don't know how long this episode's going to be, really, because I just don't know. I really don't know, because I have the least. I've like I don't have much to say about this show. It is, yeah. So yeah, that's it. Let's just get into it. With what we always start off with, the animation and action. And I gotta say, I really like I said, we're on the fourth fucking season. Not much more to really go along here, really. About it. It's good. It's good. The animation is, like I've been saying for all these episodes, it is 90s Saturday morning cartoon quality. It was meant to be aired weekly and things. It was meant to be done quick. So I wouldn't expect the best quality of animation, but this is. I think it is good. It's good. It's serviceable. I think the action is also really good. Um. Yeah, no, just that. I think the action is good. A lot of the more action oriented episodes, they're animated well. There's no. I mean, there are animation errors in this, but I think there were less so than season 3. So props to that. I know season 3 was the one that was weirdly like released and stuff, and I did complain about it then that some episodes were released before that some episodes were released like out of order and stuff. And also, I guess that's all in the plot, but I don't know why they didn't just wait and focus on the those shows on the episode of season 3, but whatever. And the episode that they pushed back to season 4 just did not need to be here. Honestly. So yeah, there really there really isn't much to say. There's not much in this department. I don't know what you want me to say. It's been the same exact shit. Not shit, but it's been the same exact thing. It's same exact quality. It's been getting better with the action. I will admit, but it's the same level of quality of animation. It only changed for like one episode of season 3. So yeah. There's that. And that one was weird. But aside from that, there really hasn't been much change in anything really. So yeah, I don't know what more to say about this. So let's just move on to the characters, which boy oh boy do we have some things to say about the characters here. All right, first up, Wolverine, the golden boy of the goddamn series. Okay, so Wolverine gets special treatment again. It's insane. This entire season, like not even that. The entire season is about Wolverine, which is insane because the finale isn't about Wolverine. A crazy fucking concept. So, but anyways, since season 4 is just Wolverine plus the X-Men, which is another fucking series I'm not doing, by the way. I'm doing all the 90s one because that's like one universe. And yes, for all of those who are wondering, if you mean like all the 90s one, yes, I mean all the 90s ones. Not even just this universe, like, oh yeah, Spider-Man and that shit. No. I mean all of them. Like, I mean the ones that people think aren't part of the same universe. I'm not that stingy when it comes to continuity errors, especially towards stuff like this, where, like, oh yeah, they're all separate universes. Like, no. This is clearly intended to be one universe. It's just that, like, the different creative teams couldn't like decide on what to really make sense of. And the only one that really isn't that is considered non-canon is Silver Surfer, and that I'm still gonna review that. So big whoop de doo there. It's like I don't know what to say. But anyways, yeah, I'm reviewing all of them, which includes. And next up is Iron Man. I will spoil that for some for people. Next up is Iron Man. I am doing the next series that I am gonna be reviewing from this sort of lineup is Iron Man, then Fantastic Four, then Spider Man. I think. But I am doing also Incredible Hulk, Silver Surfer, Avengers United They Stand, and Spider-Man Unlimited. I am counting those two as well. So those are going to be the series I am going to be doing. I don't know how long those series are, and if they might be pushed into modern. I don't know why. To my knowledge, Spider-Man Unlimited was only one season, and so was yeah, it was one season, and so was they only had one episode the entirety of 2000. Really? Okay, well, there's only one season, so and it's premiered in the 90s, so it still falls into that. And then we have Avengers United They Stand, which counts. I don't know. The Avengers United They Stand. That's what it's called. Premiered on October 30th. Yeah, and it ran for one season. Like, I don't know what to say. But first up would be Spider-Man Unlimited, which people didn't like. And a reboot of Spider-Man the Animated Series. Okay. Oh. Though I had fair ratings, it was overshadowed by Pokemon and newly with Digimon, and canceled after only airing a few episodes. Fox Kids later resumed airing the show from airing nothing like the finger. Gotcha. Okay. This makes a lot of sense. Did any? No. Okay. I was looking at some of that stuff. Anyways, yeah, let's move on to the characters. Wolverine. Oh, yep, Wolverine. This is just his season, pretty much. A lot of stuff that happens here with Wolverine is like with. There's the episodes where he's time traveling. I think he's handled well, and I do kind of like it where we have him with the Proteus stuff towards the middle of the season. With the morph stuff, there's a lot of Wolverine and a lot of how characters interact and affect Wolverine and all that, but it just kind of goes nowhere. So, but I do like what they were going with here with Wolverine. However, I don't know. Just overall, wasn't all that impressed. To be completely honest, because again, it's just Wolverine. And also like at the end of it all, we had what is it? We have I guess the conclusion of it, which is the X-Men and Weapon X lies videotape and whatever the fuck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dark Knight Returns, Nightcrawler, Weapon X. Those were all supposed to be season 4, but then were pushed up. Even though Weapon X lies in videotape is supposed to be the conclusion of all of this. So I don't know. But since apparently Deal with the Devil was meant to be part of season 3, I don't know why they just push in this into here and at least like evened it out a little, you know? But yeah. Like in multiple DVD releases, Deal with the Devil is part of season 4, and just I don't know why in the DVD releases this is part of it. It should have just gone into season 3 because it's there, and yeah. Part of season 3, or okay. and consequently, Jean Grey's resurrection was not properly explained. This legitimately has nothing to do with with resurrections. I don't know why, but again, yeah. Okay, but anyways, a lot of I mean, starting with Nightcrawler, uh, the show kind of transitions into being a lot like in the Wolverine arc, with him taking advice from Nightcrawler and all that, with Faith, then with Proteus and Wolverine getting PTSD from Proteus. That's really it. We kind of take a break. Then we have the episode where Wolverine goes to Japan. Then the one with Weapon X. It's a lot of Wolverine stuff, and I do appreciate what they try to do with his character. I think it's good to see that, but I just wish I just think like it took a lot from the show, and it's more like yeah I think. But yeah, I like how they handled it. I just kind of wish it wasn't the majority of it. But yeah, it's and especially after season 2 definitely had some Wolverine episodes. But I still but I wasn't for me it wasn't like that bad. Because in turn, the season had a lot of like character focused things, but here it's mostly Wolverine. But again, I do like it. Next up is Morph. He shows up for one episode, and it's mostly there, and he has his own arc, obviously. Sort of throughout this episode where he has PTSD with the Sentinels and all that stuff after he almost got killed by one or two. So now he's just kind of he wants to go back to the X-Men, but he's not ready yet because of it. So yeah, more gets its own little episode, and I like that. We haven't seen. I don't know when Morph gets the blank appearance. I don't know that ever happens within this show specifically, but he just never has it throughout the entirety of this show, and he doesn't even show up for a lot of this show. But and the thing is that I do kind of get why, because Morph is kind of meant to be like the show's original character. And that usually doesn't yeah, okay, permanent returns the X-Men in X-Men 97. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the thing is at least for Morph, it's something that I think I see a lot. And I think I see a lot. It's like mostly people like in this sort of time, people would companies would make, or at least like the what do you call it? The creators behind the shows would make like original characters to kill them off, not meant to stay there and they're not do anything. I like that Morph isn't part of that. At least it kind of felt that way in the beginning. But then they were reintroduced in season 2 with the whole Sinister arc. Then reintroduced in season 4, and then they were part of the main team in X-Men 97. Fuck, technically season 6. But yeah, I like what Morph is doing here. I don't think they're gonna show up anytime soon. After this, I did not hear anything about them being in any other episodes. There you go. With the final appearance in the series finale. Okay. Okay. So we see Morph once again in the finale, season 10 of episode of season 5. So we're gonna see Morph again, but not anytime soon. But yeah, I appreciate what they did with Morph here in it, and how they sort of keep building upon their character, but keeping them in low, keeping them just sort of I guess on the down low, not really focusing on them a lot, which is unfortunate. But I guess it kind of makes sense in a way. Not really like focusing on the sort of main characters that we see there. But again, I do appreciate what they did here, and I do appreciate that they made more officially part of the team in SF97. I think that was a smart move. Does not act like the same character at all, but I don't remember it that being the case. But yeah, more Morph is there. And speaking of other X-Men, the other X-Men throughout the show do fucking nothing. There is almost like the one that does really something is Storm, and that's during like the Wolverine, like the time travel stuff here and there. The other X-Men are like, at least other mutants are part of like the big finale that we see at the end, where all like the psychics are brought in to like outside of time or whatever the fuck. So Apocalypse could do his things and all that, but they don't. A lot of the characters in the show don't do much. Jean Grey is almost nowhere to be seen. I think she shows up in like 3 episodes. like she doesn't. She's not here, and she's like a vital part of the season finale. And yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. It's they don't do much. Like it's obviously they do show up. They are part of the show. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Cyclops, right? Fuck, Cyclops. Okay, I remember now. Cyclops. This motherfucker. There's an episode that he goes like to here to like visit a friend that helped him in the past and all that stuff. However, he goes in there and he is an absolute dick to everybody. It's insane. He's a dick to everybody. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like a village of mutants and all those things. And he just he manhandles an innocent man. He's such a dick for no reason. I don't understand. He was so pissed off for legit no good reason. That was insane. But yeah, that is like the only thing I can really say. And he didn't even get any character development there. So what the fuck? And nobody does anything. There's nothing interesting done with any other characters. I have Wolverine and Morph. At least can't really say. Aside from Storm, without one episode, but again, that's like 2 episodes, and it's mostly about Wolverine. So yeah, not a lot to say. In all with all being said, nothing there with the X-Men. Sadly, because again, they are the main characters of the show, but this season specifically focuses a lot on Wolverine. And I don't know how they're gonna. And I don't know. Like this one was the longest, so I don't know how they're gonna handle season 5, where it's the big finale, and like all of them are just kind of they're all, and we have to kind of wrap up everything. I don't know how that's gonna work. I never imagined myself watching this, but I guess I am. Fuck it. I might as well catch up for us in Night Season 2, which is coming out next year. Yes, and we're gonna review if we're still around by then. So, like it, we're going we're going to 2026. All right, so yeah, that's the estimate. Moving on to Magneto. He's back. You didn't see him in season two. I think yeah, you didn't see season two. But he's back, everybody. Magneto is here and he's ready to fuck shit up. Instead, he's not really, so he's actually helping. So I like what they did with Magneto here. He's not portrayed as an outright villain. We have the whole Asteroid M storyline being portrayed here. We have at the end where he does help Apocalypse. He does help Apocalypse. However, he does turn his back on him as soon as Apocalypse starts lying to people. I do like Apocalypse. I do like what they do with Magneto here with Apocalypse. But he's not. Oh, again, like he's not there. But I do like again. I like what they did with the character here. Wait, wasn't it? There you go. Okay. But yeah. I don't know. I like Magneto a lot here, and especially what they do with the Sanctuary episodes and all that. But we don't. But we don't. But we don't see a lot of him, which is sad. We don't see a lot of Magneto, which is kind of sad. But besides that, I think he's handled pretty well, and I do enjoy it. I like how Magneto. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver stuff. Yeah, they show up. Scarlet Witch doesn't do much, but I do like that they explored that segment of Magneto with the Scarlet Witch, with Wanda and Pietro. However, I don't know if it really had much, but I do like that they explored that with the character, at least. So yeah. But yeah, and I think it's something that they had to establish at some point. I don't know if they're ever going to use Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch ever again in anything. I think they're kind of off limits for the X-Men 97 team, but yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Apocalypse, the main villain of this show specifically. And I feel like Apocalypse is just kind of fun to watch and stuff. I think he is a worthy adversary, and overall, I think it was pretty intimidating. This show, having everybody go out, have everybody pull up to beat his ass in the finale. I think that's fun. And I just like Apocalypse. I just like Apocalypse. I think this is the best finale for the character that we see here. He's trapped. I think he's either erased or trapped in time. So yeah, his reign of terror is over, and I really did enjoy it because I think Apocalypse deserved it. After tormenting everybody fucking pulled out here to beat Magneto's ass. It was Apocalypse's ass. So yeah. And it was something that was built up a lot throughout the show. And obviously, Apocalypse's character was really cool. And yeah, and I think he was a worthy antagonist for the end of the season. And on it, and that's really what I say about Apocalypse. I think just I think it's a lot of fun to watch, and see how just how prepared he was for all of this, and then to have Bishop fucking screw him over, that was something. But yeah, Apocalypse was just the best villain here, and the true villain for this season, and I think he did play the role well. I think the role of main villain, the kind of the final villain, because this season specifically was meant to be the final season of the show before it was renewed for season 5, and they had to kind of come up with something for season 5. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, let's move on to the plot. Like I said, it's a knock against the series. Sadly, this season is a lot more Wolverine focused, and none of that stuff really leads into the finale. At least from my understanding, nothing of that leads to Beyond Good and Evil. So, yeah, there's not a lot to say there. It's just like I said earlier, it's just a lot of Wolverine focus, and I think that the Wolverine focus would be good if this show was about Wolverine when it's not. There are some sprinkled in episodes that aren't about Wolverine, but a lot of it is meant to serve Wolverine's character, and I don't know if I enjoy that a lot. Really, it's just not my cup of tea. Not really, no. Especially with like so much things we've yet to see. Like for example, have like the X Factor. We have not seen the X Factor at any point in time after their introduction. They have Havoc and all that shit, and they have to explore that with Cyclops. And we haven't seen Jean Grey a lot, and she was a big part of the show. Which is my next point. There's not a lot of connective tissue to do with the finale. Throughout the shows throughout the seasons, we've at least seen the fact that some things built up to the finale, even though they were Saturday morning cartoon episodes. Like they were supposed to be made for kids to tune in at various at any point and know what's going on. But that's not the case. But even then, that was a big part of I think what I enjoyed about the first 3 seasons was that it sort of, even though I have problems with it, it built up to the finale. Season 3 was all about the Phoenix and Dark Phoenix and all that stuff. Even though it ended with like 2 completely unrelated episodes. Don't ask me why. Season 1 and 2 both built up to their finales, like with Magneto. No, it was with Apocalypse at the end. Like had built up. Then with season 2, it was all about build up with more at the beginning, and then we have like all those episodes about the Savage Land to war in season 2, and then we end up back at the Savage Land for the finale. I think that was all cool, and it all made up well. But season 4 is an outlier since the big finale, I think, required a lot more setup that it had, because the only real setup that we had was the episode where Bishop and his sister Shard go back in time to save Professor X, and they take along a Wolverine and a Storm that were married, and that's really it. That because then Bishop comes back, and none of the whole in Apocalypse. It's actually one appearance before them where he's with Deathbird, which is he's with Deathbird, and they capture another mutant called Cortez. And he doesn't Cortez does not show up at any point during this. So what the fuck was that for? It was just to show that Apocalypse was here, and now Apocalypse is not gonna get any more anything aside from this. But yeah, but this show did do some tying up loose ends, at least with Wolverine's storyline. But so I gotta give it some props here, and obviously with Apocalypse and Archangel storyline. These all show up at the finale. So yeah, I do like that this one tied up enough loose ends, and everyone was brought up for the finale, including the Shiar and all that stuff. Omega Red's here in the show, so I appreciate it's kind of a lot of loose ends. However, the show itself isn't very connected, and it's a downgrade from what we've seen in the last 3 seasons. But not that much of a downgrade where it's just okay. It's still good. I think a lot of the show is still very good. Not very good, but it suffers from just you know uh, it suffers from just not having a lot of stuff, a lot of like connective tissue throughout the seasons. Just my opinion. So yeah, that's why I'm giving it a B tier. It's good, but it's still sort of nah. It's still not as good as season two. I think season two is definitely the best season right now. However, and this show does have its highs, but this one definitely did not up the ante. And I think it just did some things worse. It's still on the same level season one and season three, I think. But yeah, no, that's really all I gotta say about it. It's just it's good, but I mean, yeah, because it's not as good as. I think it's still. I think good. It's still good, but I think I would put it lower than season one, and season three, just for my taste. But yeah, that's it. What did you guys think about X-Men, the animated series season 4? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials on the description. And fun fact, I have another social. Uh, I have a serialized account now. For those of you who don't know, serialized is basically just um serialized is basically just uh just what do you call it? Just a letterbox but for series. So yeah, it has a lot of stuff just for series. It's the same thing, and I'm gonna put it in the description because you guys can see pretty much real time when I stop, but when I finish something or am watching something, so you can see all of that. And I think it does some things better than Letterbox with having like the whole like watch list and currently watching and all that stuff. So yeah, I like that. But yeah, um, that's about it. Yeah, like I said, all our social in the description. So yeah, no. Oh yeah, I forgot to say about the whole like, thing. So if you're on Spotify and listening to us, follow us if you want to stay up to date with our content. Rate us if you like or dislike us. And if you're on YouTube, if anyone wants to stay up to date with our content, subscribe to the channel. And if you like the episode, dislike it if you dislike it. Share it around the things we're sharing, and yeah, that's about it. See ya.